Happy holidays, folks. Back with another Christmas music reaction, and we're going to listen to another one from Annie Lennox and her 2010 Christmas Cornucopia album. Thank you again to Kim. And we're going to hear Annie's version of the First Noel, another carol I'm very fond of, and along with a handful of others, is as quintessentially Christmas as any other carol I can think of. And indeed, I mentioned this in another reaction that I originally had thought this carol was French, and I guess it's because of the presence of the word Noel, but people mentioned both, I think recently and maybe last year as well, that it's actually an English carol and was indeed using the French word Noel. Nevertheless, I'm keen to hear what Annie does with this, if it'll be closer to a more traditional performance or like her version of God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, have sonics and stylings that are not normally part of a more classic Christmas sound. So let's give it a listen and find out. This is Annie Lennox and her version of the First Noel from, is it A Christmas Cornucopia? Yeah, A Christmas Cornucopia 2010.
Noel, the angels did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay, a-keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. They looked up and saw a star shining in the east beyond them far, and to the earth it gave great light, and so it continued both day and night. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel.
Amazing, fascinating. Like, in one way, it's basically a traditional rendering, and yet it's not at the same time, meaning there are some melodic moments where she's hitting some of the lines differently, even though overall it's very identifiably the First Noel. Secondarily, her vocals are pretty straight away for most of it, and then as we get to the end, they get layered, and she's, like triple, quadruple, like dubbed, where it's like we're hearing multiple Annies, which anyone who's gone through the Eurythmics catalog, or indeed my deep dive through their material, will be aware. There's a number of tunes where you hear multiple Annie vocal lines at the same time. And then instrumentally, it's fascinating. Like, over the course of the piece, we get like true piano, or at least a true piano kit on a keyboard, a more keyboard sounding keyboard line, and some like pad synths, but we also get, I think, not like violins for sure. We get definitely some horns at the end. I was wondering if there was like a harp in there, definitely an acoustic guitar. And they all kind of like layer into the track as it goes along, and cycle through. They each get like a turn at the melody, so it's like it's actually a very elaborate composition, even though the melody and the individual parts, none of them sound too busy. It's all like very well crafted, despite being a really dynamic tune sonically, even apart from Annie's vocals. So yeah, a very beautiful performance and a very well composed rendition of this lovely carol. So again, I enjoy Annie's work overall, and indeed when it comes to her like regular solo material, I'm still in the very early days, but that will be returning soon. So yeah, I just love hearing her sing. I love this Christmas album. Thank you again to Kim. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.